With the winter of 1944 seeing some of the last full-scale German offensives, the SS were desperate to find ways in which they could create havoc behind enemy lines. What followed was one of the more interesting forms of deception during the Second World War. The Ersatz M10 was the brainchild of Adolf Hitler and SS Obersturmbannführer Otto Skorzeny and was part of Operation Grief. SS Commando Skorzeny had gained Hitler's trust after he rescued Benito Mussolini in the autumn of 1943. Skorzeny was put in charge of Panzer Brigade 150, which was meant to capture as many bridges as possible along the River Meuse. So, what was the twist then? Well, he wanted 3,300 of his troops to have a basic idea of British and American dialogue, and it turned out only around 400 spoke basic English. He gathered 150 of the best English speakers, then created a commando unit called Einheitssteylau. He also asked for 15 British and American tanks, 100 jeeps, 20 SPGs and more captured equipment all in working order. Skorzeny could only get 2,500 troops instead of the intended 3,300. In order to create a convincing number of Allied tanks, Skorzeny decided to disguise some Panther tanks to look like American M10 Wolverine tank destroyers. To reach the desired look of an M10, the Panthers had to undergo some pretty radical modifications. Starting off with the turret, it had flat side plates added, which were around 3.5mm thick. These plates were cut and flanged into shape, and were supported by 2 iron bars, with a further 2 plates to recreate the counterweight on the back of the M10's turret. The commander's cupola was removed and was replaced with a 2-piece flat door, which had no optics. The manlet was changed to look like the M10's, which was placed on top of the Panther's original one. The shirts and side skirts were removed and were replaced with shorter fenders. Also, the side plates of the Panther were changed to look more like that of the M10's. The Panther's existing road wheels could not be replaced, as they could not be changed for the M10's vertical volute spring suspension. The hull featured an extra front plate, and extra care was put into this section of the tank in order to replicate the M10's upper and lower glacis. The MG34 mounting in the hull was fitted with a trapdoor, as the M10 did not have a hull-mounted machine gun. Another undisguisable feature was present. It was the KWK-42 long 75mm gun. It had a muzzle brake, but the M10 had a 76mm gun without a muzzle brake. This was probably what gave the Panther away. However, this M10 with a muzzle brake could have easily been the British Achilles M10, which had a British 17-pounder gun, which had a muzzle brake. All exterior stowage found on the Panther was removed from the tank. The rear was different to the Panther, and the Ersatz M10 had an additional plate put on to replicate the rear of the M10. The Ersatz M10 had one final yet crucial step to go: the paintwork. The paint applied was the standard US olive drab. The particular shade of green was replicated by the Germans and was not the exact original shade of green. Not much is known about the combat service of the Ersatz M10, but we do know that Skorzeny tried to get his group of Ersatz M10s to the River Meuse and capture 2 bridges, and to wreak havoc behind enemy lines. In theory, it seemed like a great idea and it seemed to be going in the favour of the SS. However, in practice, due to the 1st SS Panzer Division's delay to get to the starting point on time, the operation was put back 2 days. Skorzeny then realised that the operation was not going to work, so he attended a meeting at the 6th Panzer Army's headquarters and asked if the Ersatz M10 could be used as a normal Panzer Division. They approved of this, and the Ersatz M10 was used just like a normal Panther. Operation Grief was a success, resulting in the Allies being very confused about the situation, and one captured SS commando told American captors that there was even a plot to capture General Eisenhower. Also, some incidents between American forces for the mistake of thinking that there were spies everywhere and no one could be trusted meant the death and injury of a couple of Americans due to friendly fire. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please like, subscribe, share and comment down below. Please turn on the notifications when you subscribe, as it notifies you when my next video will come out. Thank you for watching and goodbye. The Ersatz M10 was the brainchild of Adolf Hitler and SS Obersturmbannführer. Also, some incidents between American forces for the mistake that the Army's headquarters, the 6th Panzer Army's headquarters